Baliradio.net listeners. I'm very happy today. We are all very happy today because today we've welcomed Nahko and Hope from Medicine for the People to our studio. Whee! So, meet Nahko and Hope, and maybe you guys want to introduce yourself a little bit to our listeners before we start the whole interview.
My name is Nahko. I'm from Hawaii, and I'm part of a musical movement called Medicine for the People.
My name's Hope,
and
I'm also from Oregon and spending time in Hawaii. Really happy to be here in Bali. Came out for the Bali Spirit Fest, and we just keep making friends, so we can't leave yet. Grateful to be here.
Yeah, great. Don't go yet. You guys still have to be here. Well, my first question would be, how long have you guys been together in Medicine for the People?
Medicine for the People kind of formed, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago as being a band.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was about maybe 3 years ago that Hope and I started playing music together. And we had more people come in those 3 years. So now our band has kind of like come in and out of like being about 7 people at certain times, between 2 to 3 to 4 and sometimes 7 people. It's a fluctuating number of musicians that come and go from our group.
Okay, so but the people that have always been in Nahko Medicine for the People are of course you yourself, because your name is there, and Hope.
And then our horn player Max, and then pretty much that would be it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, is there any story behind how you guys got this band together, how this music movement started?
I started writing music a long time ago, but it was really bad songs. They were all songs about, wanting to figure out who I was and things like this. But it wasn't until maybe 4 or 5 years ago that the songs that I was writing became more powerful, I guess you could say. And I think the music as well and the energy around the songs called in each member that became Medicine for the People. And wait, what was the question?
Well, the question was, how did you guys...
So there really is never a beginning, though, because, it's just like you're born and then here we are, but that's really big.
Nahko had been writing some of the songs, the original Medicine songs, for a while in Hawaii, and he came back to visit his family in Oregon when I met him around a campfire playing music. And that was a good 3.5 years ago or so. It was on a farm, community farm, doing education projects for youth, and under a full moon. And right away we knew we wanted to play more music together, and it just started really quickly from there. And Nahko's a prolific songwriter, so there's been a lot of music written over the last few years. And I've been playing drums for a long time before I met him. And all of the styles of ourselves and the other musicians that have collaborated with us have just continued to grow and create the music that we have now.
Wow. And the name of your band, it's very catchy, and it's pretty obvious what it means, but how did you guys come up with that name?
Well, I was sitting around a fire. Fires always seem to be where stuff happens, but sitting around a fire in Hawaii a couple years before I met Hope, and we were recording a song around the fire, one of the more not so greatest songs I've ever written. And my friend on the recording around the fire just busted out an intro. He was like, "Buh!" He's like, "This is Medicine for the People live around the campfire." And it's like you get one recording when you're young and you listen to it over and over and over again. And so we listened to that I listened to that recording hundreds of times and over that next 6 months. And every time I listened to it, it always made me laugh to hear him say, "This is Medicine for the People," because I would kind of start to think about what that meant to me. And it definitely has a lot of meaning towards healing through music, and then definitely my direction that I come from using the word medicine has to do with my native background as well, and the word that that we use to describe like all kinds of healing and things like that. So, so I forget when we got together, and Hope and I got together, when Max was there. If there, I don't even remember if there was a conscious decision of it being like Medicine for People, but I remember having that already in my head and having it being used it already, and so it kind of just became more of like a label for us.
Wow. Well, you mentioned about your native background. Can you maybe tell a little bit about that?
Yeah, I am I'm Apache, Mescalero Apache, and Puerto Rican and Filipino. My mom is a Puerto Rican Indian, and then my dad is Filipino. She's actually right here in this picture. You can't see it, but she's here with us today.
You can show her.
Oh, see the camera?
Yeah.
See you guys, mom's here.
And baby Nahko.
And this is baby me and my cradle board. This is my mom when she was 15 years old.
15?
Yep, she had me very young. So she's 40.
Well, going on with the questions. How many albums have you guys launched so far?
Well, we have 10 albums.
Seriously.
No. We have 10 albums worth of music, but we don't have 10 albums. We have one. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say we have 2. We have the original one we did about 2.5 years ago. And then On the Verge is the one most recent, about a year and a half ago.
That's kind of more like our studio, our studio album.
Well-produced album. And then just a week ago here in Bali, we put together a sweet little Live in Bali project. And then this summer, we're going to
record our next official Medicine for the People album.
Yeah.
Ooh. Is there anything you maybe want to share with us about the new album? I mean, a bit of a spoiler, maybe?
Well, yeah, I can definitely tell you what's going to happen. The new album is going to be a lot more edgier and in your face. That's what I like to say in my head when I think about it. Because our last album was very organic and playful and kind of way I describe it to myself now is a little froofy.
More acoustic.
Because it has a really big jazz influence because our horn player and our keyboard player are both very much like jazz and funk musicians, and so that's going to be much less on this album, and more. We're taking more of a maybe more electric music, maybe like electric guitars, and it's gonna be a really harder message.
Heavier percussion,
but just like the message in our last album was light, you know. There were some heavy songs in there, truth songs, but it wasn't necessarily. It was our first run at it, you know. It was like our freshman start, and so in this next album, you can expect it to be way more hard hitting. And really, really direct and to the point, and powerful. Yeah.
So the songs that we have been listening to, that we've been hearing on your live sessions here in Bali, and are not in your most recent album, On the Verge, will be in that album.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. Al, we know that's your first time performing here in Bali, and we know that during the Bali Spirit Festival, you guys had a very great response from all the audience.
Yeah.
Everybody was very happy. People who never heard your music before
were crying.
Everybody was touched, moved, and everything. Yeah.
This whole experience,
how do you feel about it?
This whole experience has been incredible for us. This is the first time as a group that we've come international, and we feel really well received in this project. And there was such a opening as soon as we got here and did our first performances that they let us play a really sweet spot within the festival. And the other thing about Bali Spirit Fest is there were musicians there from all over the world. And so it gave us the opportunity to play with them, as well as for us to hear them and for them to hear us, and really opened us up to an international stage and audience. And we've already started getting invitations to come travel over the next year. And yeah, so we were ready for it. It was perfect timing, but at the same time, every step of the way, I feel like with the spirit of this music, there's been a momentum that's pretty fast moving for us. And in the 3-4 years that we've been playing together, we've certainly played a lot, and we are pretty consistent players, and so we've been growing quickly as musicians. We've been getting better exponentially along the way, And but this experience in Bali has really launched us, I feel like, to a
Next level.
Next level, absolutely. So it's really exciting, and the spirit of the land here in Bali is incredible. This is so unique, and the spirit of the people here, and so undoubtedly that's a big part of what's helping us move forward, is just being a part of this spiritual experience as well.
Wow.
I like your country.
I like my country too. And, did you expect Bali to have such a big turnout for you guys? I mean, did you have the idea in mind that this was the thing that
Not
you will
really.
be dealing with here in Bali?
I think that my expectations were kind of limited. I didn't really know what to expect. I knew I was going to have fun, and I knew that I was going to have an experience, but I didn't know necessarily what was going to happen. So I think that the reaction and the excitement has built up around us being here has been really beautiful and really powerful to see that it's being received well.
And for me, I feel like it's gone way better than I'd even hoped. It's been fantastic, but at the same time, there's something about this project and playing with Nahko Medicine for the People that seems like it always goes beyond my expectations. So part of me isn't surprised either that we're just enjoying it so much.
So it's like a pattern.
It has been a growing pattern. It's a
Wow.
blessing.
It is. And Nahko, so are you the one who writes all the songs?
Yes, I write all the songs.
This is distracting. Okay, so among all the songs that you have written, is there any one in particular that is your favorite, or you don't play favorite at all with your songs?
Usually my favorite song is the newest one that I'm working on.
Okay.
So I have a song I'm writing right now about...
So you change your favorite every time you have a new song?
Yeah.
Okay.
The song I'm working right now is about Nepi, actually. Nepi.
Okay.
Yippee.
Nyepi.
Nepi.
Is it hard to say nyepi?
Yippee.
Nyepi.
It's
Yeah,
a
now you got
different-
it.
Yeah.
No, that was not one of the
Will you
questions
say it one more
actually.
time?
Hmm?
Will you say it again?
Nyepi.
Yippee.
Well, and where do you get your inspirations from?
God.
Would you mind to elaborate a little bit?
From the spiritual path that we're on, like the path that is set before us. Everything that happens in my life, I am inspired by because it's my life. It's amazing to be here and alive and be in this body and this time, this generation, and this everything that's happening in the world. So I'm inspired by all kinds of things that are happening here in the earth and the past and the present and the future. That's the most vague and precise and honest answer I could come up with at that time.
And for me, I also am inspired by music being a vehicle to share an important message at an important time. Right now, obviously, 2012, there's so many powerful things going on in the world, and also things that need to be going on in the world that we need to talk about and encourage and inspire each other. And the music is an opportunity to do that. So even when my hands are tired at the end of a gig, I'm ready to keep going.
I'm sorry, Hope, he's distracting.
I
Not
know.
my fault.
Oh, I
But
know.
I'm listening.
Get used to it.
Sorry, folks, we're just getting close in here.
Okay, so if you have to describe our divine, udah,
Ya break dulu aja.
cut dulu.
Iya.
Okay,
Bagus.
bagus.
Oke. Cut dulu ya.
He's like, enough is enough.